I forget. It's like really awkward or no. Oh no, Capcom publishes Grand Theft Auto in Japan, right?
Yeah.
That just seems like awkward. But in order for Grand Theft Auto to get into Japan, Capcom, a highly regarded company, made that happen. I think it's Capcom. I'm gonna feel stupid if it's not.
Yeah.
But
I haven't studied the facts or anything, but yeah, you could be right. But I see it as a. It could be good, it could be bad, but we don't know until like 6 or 8 months, as you said.
You're right. So status quo now, yes, this is a great thing. This is growth in the industry. It means that we're growing. We're not going anywhere. Companies are getting to the point where they've got to grow, and they are willing to spend millions or billions of dollars acquiring other companies. I think that it's only natural. So in 8 months, whether we see if they're churning out great titles or maybe crap, we'll have to wait and see. But I appreciate your input, caller. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks you. For Norway!
For Norway.
Yeah,
there you go.
for Norway.
Let's take one more, then we're going to bring Livy on. And we've got a lot of questions. Some came from the users. Others came from myself. It looks like we got our final caller for the day. Nietzsche. Welcome to EG.
What's cracking?
Not much, dude. What's up with you?
Dude, I have to say, man, I think there's something huge going on here that we're not keen on, because this is coming hot on the heels of EA picking up BioWare and Pandemic, and on what seems like a totally different note, but may very well be related. Who owns Vivendi? NBC Universal. NBC Universal just pulled all their content from iTunes and opened up their own digital distribution platform called Hulu.com.
Yep.
And they're making big moves right now.
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead, keep going.
There could be something huge behind this that we're not even aware of.
You mean a giant takeover of the world?
Well,
no, I'm thinking more of a giant digital distribution that you're seeing. You're seeing, especially in video games, but in digital, media worldwide.
Right.
A huge shift right now.
Right. No, I think that there's a lot of sort of unanswered and sort of kind of questionable things going on. Not questionable in terms of bad, but questionable like, do we know everything?
Speculation.
Here's another great. Why the fuck did they issue the press release on Sunday of all days?
Right.
Like, isn't
Maybe it was anointed by the Pope.
Big enough? Like, isn't this a big enough announcement that this would be like important? And
this
I don't know,
Christmas
maybe it
Day
is something
announcement,
about.
if you ask me.
Maybe it is something about, well, that way it'll hit all the news wires Monday, and that will be all that people are talking about come Monday. But it just seemed to me like the timing in which it happened was absolutely like, what? Sunday? Why the fuck are you not saying Sunday? But you do make a good point that, whether our users know or not, NBC Universal, like Nietzsche mentioned, did start Hulu.com. And Hulu, right now, they're putting all of their television content up there. Pretty much everything available for free right now, getting new content as well. And, Nietzsche, I think that you remind us that we always have to look at the bigger picture, that for a lot of these companies, there's someone behind that company that owns this, that owns this, that owns this. It's the same thing as like, Disney and ABC. They're the same company. You would never know this by looking unless you actually did the research, but they're owned by, this company and this company that have the same parent company, etc. So, I think you're right. But
I think what it lends
Nietzsche,
itself to is more and more of people of these big companies, NBC, everyone wanting to make one media source, whether it be a device or a service in your living room that provides everything. And I honestly, I would not be surprised if, like, we're talking about 6 to 8 months down the road, you see all of a sudden NBC Universal, Vivendi, and here's digital distribution in your living room of starting with video games.
Right.
Or the beginning of it.
So
I would not be surprised.
You bring up an interesting alternate angle, and I've got to let you go here. But before I do, I want to hear, what is your thoughts? Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
Oh, dude, it could go either way. It's the same thing with the BioWare Pandemic and EA. It could go either way. If EA steps in with BioWare and Pandemic and puts their foot down on things, it's going to be bad. Same thing here. If they stay creatively separate and this is purely a business merger, then absolutely only good things can come from it. If creative problems start arising, it could all blow up overnight.
There's going to be some downsides.
Well, of course there's going to be downsides. However, I find it hard to believe that Blizzard didn't have some sort of active participation in saying, we are the ones who have 9.3 million
they've already come out
subscribers.
and said basically that their creative studios are not going to be interchanging at all. That
Yeah.
most of the layoffs
There's
are going to
no
be happening
reason
in the clerical sections.
Right. Okay. So, all right. Well, we're going to keep a close eye on this story, and I'm sure over the next week we're going to be hearing a lot more information.
I'm sure.
So, guys,
Thanks,
we've
Nietzsche.
got a couple. Thanks,
Thank
Nietzsche.
you.
We've got a couple of forum posts on epilepticgaming.com in specific about these particular things. Not only the merger, but also with the whole GameSpot firing. And we didn't talk about that, but I do want to talk about that on Open Phones come Wednesday. So we will we'll be discussing that a little bit on Wednesday for Open Phones. With that being said, guys, I want to bring on our special guest, Livia, a.k.a. Livia, of Berlin Alliance, playing Dead or Alive 4, female, and from Stockholm, Sweden. We've got a couple pictures here of right there. The World Championships begin next week for the Championship Gaming Series here in the very sunny Los Angeles, and I'm looking forward to checking those out. Got my tickets for the finals, so I will be there cheering on some team. But yeah, so welcome to the program, Livia, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, I'm happy to be here.
So first off, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself. These guys some of them may know you from other games, some of you may not, so fire away.
Well, I started playing when I was like 13. I played Unreal Tournament and I fell in love with the first Unreal Tournament. I found out about professional gaming early on, I think maybe 2003, and from there it just went from Unreal Tournament to Quake 4, and last year I lived in a gaming house in Sweden with my Girls of Destruction teammates. And now I'm playing Dead or Alive in CGS. Yeah? A gaming house?
Of
That's
just
sexy.
chicks.
Of just chicks, yeah, there is something a little bit.
Wow.
So you have your UT99 background. We know that you played some Quake 4. How exactly did you get involved with CGS? Because I from my perspective, as I was going through the picks after the draft, I was like, holy shit, look at that. You know, that's awesome, you know, but how did you get involved? Like, what were your steps in making that happen?
Actually, what happened was after QuakeCon, I talked to Red Eye on IRC, and he was like, you know, CGS is really cool. You should get an Xbox and pick up Dead or Alive, see how you go. And this was like maybe a week before the European Combine was originally scheduled. So I was like, yeah, I'll train for a week and I'll rock.
Give it your best shot, right?
Yeah. And then so it got postponed, so I had an extra month. So I bought Xbox Live about a week before the next Combine, you know, and I started playing, and yeah, that's how I got here today.
So tell us a little bit about that, you know, because you obviously started off fresh. You'd seen Dead or Alive 4 before. Had you played it before? No. Were you literally starting from scratch?
Total newbie. Like, you know, I would play like maybe Mortal Kombat and like Tekken just for fun, bashing the buttons,
right.
You know, but all like the strategy and stuff, I was really blown away when I found out how in-depth the game actually was. Like, you know, I think, yeah, FPS is going to be so much harder. No way. I have to say, that's a myth. If everybody thinks FPS is harder, it's not.
So, I mean,